Most people don't fail because they aim too high and miss. They fail because they aim too low and hit. This is the story of a boy who refused to think small. The world laughed at his dreams, but he thought bigger, and that decision changed everything. In a small Indian town lived a boy named Arjun. His father ran a tiny tea stall by the roadside. Every evening, Arjun helped him wash glasses and pour hot tea for customers. And every evening he heard the same words, "Son, one day you'll also run this stall. That's your fate." Even his friends mocked him. "Arjun, people like us don't become successful. Don't dream too big. Stay in your place." But Arjun's eyes burned with fire. He thought to himself, if everyone is thinking small, then someone must dare to think big. One rainy evening, a wealthy businessman stopped at the stall. Arjun, curious as always, asked, "Sir, how do people become rich? How do they build such big companies?" The man looked straight into his eyes and said words that carved themselves into Arjun's soul. "Son, the world doesn't stop you because you are poor. It stops you because you think small. The moment you think big, doors will open." Those words struck like lightning. That day, Arjun's life changed. He began to borrow old books. He picked up torn newspapers from the roadside. He practiced English by speaking to strangers. While the whole town slept, Arjun sat under a streetlight, scribbling ideas into a worn notebook. People laughed again. "Books won't change your life, Arjun. You're just a tea seller's son." But Arjun whispered to himself, "Yes, I am a tea seller's son, but tomorrow I will create something the whole world will notice." Years passed. Through determination, he earned a scholarship and moved to the city. The skyscrapers, the airplanes, the giant companies, they didn't make him feel small. Instead, he clenched his fists and said, "One day, I'll build something so big, people will say it was impossible, but he did it." Arjun started his first business with courage in his heart, and it failed. Investors rejected him. He lost everything. For days, he wandered the city, broken, hopeless. He was ready to give up. But then he remembered his father at the tea stall. Even on days without profit, his father never stopped serving tea with a smile. That night, Arjun realized, failures are not endings, they are hidden lessons written in invisible ink. So this time, he decided to dream even bigger. He looked at villages where people still lived in darkness. Children bent over dim kerosene lamps, mothers cooking in smoky kitchens. And Arjun thought, why sell to a few when I can light up millions? He started a company to build affordable solar panels. When he shared his idea, people laughed harder than ever. "Impossible, too big, too risky. Who do you think you are?" But Arjun smiled and said, "If my dream doesn't scare me, it isn't big enough." He worked day and night. One house lit up, then a street, then an entire village. Children shouted with joy as bright bulbs lit their books. Families gathered under lights, smiling together. Whole communities celebrated as if it were a festival of light. From one village to hundreds, from hundreds to thousands, his vision spread like wildfire. The boy once mocked for thinking too big was now lighting up the lives of millions. Years later, Arjun returned to his hometown. The old tea stall was still there, but this time the air was different.
No one mocked him. No one doubted him. They spoke his name with pride. That's Arjun, the boy who turned darkness into light.
He gathered the children of the town and told them, "Your future is not written in this dust. It is written in the size of your thinking. If you think small, you will remain small. But if you dare to think big, the world itself will grow to fit your dream." So the next time someone tells you your dream is too big, smile, because that's the sign you're on the right path. Remember, thinking big costs nothing, but it can change everything. The only question is, how big are you willing to think?